Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a North Texas Amber Alert suspect is arrested in the Crossroads. 2 people were injured in a foggy 2-vehicle wreck in Goliad County. And the latest on the largest wildfire in Texas history.
Up in that area of the wildfire, they actually had a little snow this morning. Hard to believe. They can see it right there. But the good news is today is the last day of winter, because by tomorrow we'll start clearing the skies and we'll be pushing the 80-degree mark by the weekend. We'll have more on that coming up in a moment.
And it was the first day of the Victoria ISD tournament over at the Youth Sports Complex. We'll have the Lady Titans, the Calhoun Sandies, and a few other local teams coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia has the night off. An Amber Alert suspect from North Texas was arrested in Yoakum. The Amber Alert was issued from Wilmer for 2 missing children and their mother. On Tuesday, 26-year-old Jacqueline Hernandez walked into the Yoakum PD headquarters. She asked why there was an Amber Alert out for her. Yoakum police contacted Wilmer police. They issued an arrest warrant for Hernandez on aggravated kidnapping charges. She was arrested and extradited back to Wilmer. The 2 missing children were with her. CPS took the children. They were returned to their father. A Victoria suspect faces charges in Calhoun County. 40-year-old Christy Sauceda is charged with terroristic threats and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $13,000 bond. Yoakum police arrested a suspect after a short chase. 55-year-old Luke Molina was taken into custody in the 900 block of Old Shiner Road. Molina is charged with continuous family violence and evading arrest. He is in the Lavaca County Jail in lieu of $200,000 bond. 2 people were hurt after a 2-vehicle crash Wednesday morning in foggy Goliad County. The crash happened in the 8,000 block of U.S. Highway 183 South. The driver of a Lincoln 4-door tried to pass another driver. The Lincoln ran head into an oncoming 18-wheeler. The driver of the Lincoln was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the semi had minor injuries. The driver of a 3rd vehicle swerved to avoid the crash. The vehicle went into a pasture. The driver was not hurt. The largest wildfire in Texas history is taking up over 1 million acres in the Panhandle. The fires have killed at least 2 people and threatened to destroy more homes, cattle, and livelihoods. Many residents are deeply scarred and facing a long recovery.
Holy cow.
The small town of Fritch, Texas, now charred and covered in ash.
It's kind of helpless.
Fritch was caught in a cross-section of several wildfires burning across the Panhandle. The largest of those blazes, the Smokehouse Creek Fire, has burned more than 1 million acres so far in Texas and Oklahoma, making it the largest fire on record in the Lone Star State, officials confirmed Thursday. Add to that at least 4 other wildfires, burning tens of thousands of additional acres.
It's truly heartbreaking because their home is a symbolic of what's happened all over the county here.
Agricultural agent Andy Holloway estimates around 80% of the land in just one county has burned, and 5,000 heads of cattle have been killed, numbers that could rise in the region as damage assessments come in over the days ahead. And then there's the grim task of searching burned homes.
There's a chance that there may be people that did not survive and were trapped by the fire.
Several school districts have canceled classes for the rest of the week, with some now turned into donation drop-off centers.
It's really overwhelming just to see that outpouring of support.
As the firefighting efforts continue, there is one thing that cannot be touched by the flames.
The community's been through this before, and so, we pulled together then, and I know we'll pull together again.
In Fritch, Texas, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Visibility levels in El Paso dropped due to thick smoke from the Panhandle wildfires. The National Weather Service reported the cold front that entered the El Paso region pushed smoke from the Panhandle wildfires into the El Paso area. Authorities recommended El Paso residents stay indoors as much as possible. And now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. And now once again, the weather is affecting these fires and because of that, other parts of Texas.
Well, yes, that was the massive frontal system that came through and brought the gusty winds all the way down into our area. And that's what brought us the one day of winter that you might have experienced today. But by and large, the storm is beginning to pull out of the area. Things will be settling down and clearing up by tomorrow for us as well. Now, we actually have a few little sprinkles just to the north of us up along I-35. We may get some little drops of rain overnight, but by and large, tomorrow we'll be back up into the 70s. We'll be talking about your weekend forecast in just a moment.
Thank you, Mac. A day of dueling border visits in South Texas. Both President Biden and former President Trump traveled to the U.S.-Mexico border Thursday as immigration remains a key issue in the 2024 presidential race. The trips come as the White House considers new restrictions on border asylum claims, and the former president returns to a theme which helped propel his 2016 campaign to victory.
Nice weather, beautiful day, but a very dangerous border. We're going to take care of it.
In a remarkable moment, a current and former president visited different sectors of the U.S. southern border on Thursday, highlighting a central issue of the 2024 presidential race, border security and surges of migration.
Instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done? Let's remember who the heck we work for. We work for the American people, not the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. We work for the American people. And let's remember who we are. We're the United States of America.
Former President Donald Trump traveled to Eagle Pass, a flashpoint in the border security standoff between Texas and the federal government. It's where Republican Governor Greg Abbott had the National Guard install razor wire and physical barriers, bypassing federal authority.
The United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country.
Trump has made Biden's handling of illegal immigration a centerpiece of his reelection effort. Yet after Republicans tanked a bipartisan border deal in early February, largely due to opposition from Trump, the Biden campaign has a potential new angle.
What House Republicans have done is nothing, absolutely nothing. If anything, they consistently get in the way.
Biden's Brownsville visit comes as he considers new executive action to restrict migrants' ability to seek asylum at the southern border if they crossed illegally. The action under consideration appears to be an extension of some of the toughest measures in the failed border bill. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
A federal judge in Austin suspended a controversial Texas immigration law. It was set to take effect on Tuesday. The law would allow Texas law enforcement agents to arrest and detain people they suspect of entering the country illegally. The judge who stopped the law from going into effect, David Allen Ezra, argued that it would open the door to individual states passing their own version of federal immigration laws. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton said the state is appealing the ruling. Here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. Here's the question. Should local police be able to detain people suspected of illegal entry? Yes or no? Let's look at the numbers. 82% of the voters say yes, they should be able to do that, and 18% say no. We thank you for voting, and we want to hear your opinion. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and I will have an update on 25 News Now at 10. Texas will pay a New Braunfels company about $171 million to build an 80-acre base camp in Eagle Pass for troops sent to that area. The San Antonio Express-News reports the company won the contract from the Texas Military Department. Governor Greg Abbott said the camp will house up to 2,300 Texas National Guard members. The camp is expected to open by late October. The Eagle Pass camp will be the third built for the National Guard. Others are in Del Rio and Laredo. Texas Senator John Cornyn announced he's running to be the next Republican leader of the U.S. Senate. Wednesday, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell announced he would step down from the leadership role in November. Cornyn said he intends to play a major role in fixing the broken Senate. He is a member of the Senate Finance, Intelligence, and Judiciary Committees, and he says as Republican whip, he helped President Trump advance his agenda through the Senate. Early voting in the primary election continues through Friday. You still have a little bit of time today and 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow, and you can vote on those times both days, and you can vote at the Dr. Patty Dodson Public Health Center, 2805 North Devero. More than 1.2 million Texans have cast early ballots in the March 5th GOP and Democrat Party primary elections. The first U.S. spacecraft to land on the moon since the Apollo astronauts has fallen silent. This comes a week after breaking a leg and tipping over near the lunar South Pole. Houston-based Intuitive Machines lander, Odysseus, lasted longer than the company anticipated after it ended up on its side. The end came Thursday as flight controllers received the last photo from Odysseus, also named Odie, and commanded its computer and power systems to stand by. That way, the lander can wake up in another 2 to 3 weeks, if it can survive the moon's winter. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so when you're on YouTube, you can get Crossroads Today. And stay with us coming up on 25 News now at 6. A missing girl in the Houston area may be a human trafficking victim. Also ahead, a popular item on the Chick-fil-A menu is recalled. Issued Wednesday for a 12-year-old girl reported missing in the Houston area last Friday. Houston police believe the girl may be a victim of trafficking.
Around 1:40 in the morning last Friday, this surveillance video you'll see only on 2 shows a dark Dodge truck pull up outside 12-year-old Imani Hughes' home. She appears to get in the back seat. The driver in a light hoodie never turns around to acknowledge her before turning around in the cul-de-sac of Water Chase Drive and leaving on Steeplechase Road.
I pray and hope that she's not in no type of harm's way.
Imani's mother, Shannon Williams, says she thinks someone kidnapped her daughter, who danced in the living room before taking a walk around 10:30 Thursday night. When Williams woke up Friday morning, her daughter had vanished.
She's a baby. She don't understand what's actually going on. So it's been really devastating.
Williams says she reported her missing Friday, but Houston police told her to call back 24 hours later. When Imani didn't come home from school that afternoon, she called back, and officers came over to her house to take a report. On her 6th day gone, HPD asked the Texas Center for the Missing to issue this regional Amber Alert, which blared across phones Wednesday.
It's not one or the other criteria, it's that they all have to be met to be able to issue an Amber Alert.
Steve Benefield coordinates after law enforcement makes the request, but the criteria is specific. The child has to be under 17, in immediate danger of sexual assault, injury, or death, and believed to be the victim of a verified abduction. There has to be enough information about the child, suspect, or vehicle to get help from the public before an alert can go out.
We don't want the Amber Alert to be like a car alarm going off in a parking lot where nobody pays any attention to it.
It's not clear what specific evidence led to the alert in Imani's case Wednesday, but her family wishes it had come sooner, as days turn to nights with still no sign of the young girl.
No message, no inbox or anything, no phone call, and she's only 12, so I know she's scared.
Chick-fil-A has recalled its Polynesian sauce due to allergy concerns. The fast food restaurant says the cups may contain wheat and soy allergens. Chick-fil-A advises customers who were handed out dipping containers from February 14th through February 27th to throw them out. In spite of several close calls on U.S. runways, 2023 was recorded as the safest year ever for flying commercial. That also means traveling by plane remains the safest form of travel overall. The latest report from the International Air Transport Association found that 2023 had the lowest fatality risk for airline passengers. That goes all the way back to the IATA's first ever commercial aviation safety report. In 1964, there were 37 million flights in 2023. A WARN notice from the Texas Workforce Commission showed 64 employees at the Expedia Austin office are laid off. KXAN reports Expedia is expecting to lay off 1,500 jobs across the globe. As of 2022, Expedia reported it had 1,800 employees in the Austin area. An East Texas town has put strict limits on mobile homes again. You can read the Texas Tribune article on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Snow suddenly collided with the raging wildfires in the Texas Panhandle Thursday. Snow began to fall in the region near the Smokehouse Creek fire, the scene of the largest wildfire in Texas history. Snow falling in the Panhandle helped firefighters by adding moisture to the air. Authorities said that would make it harder for fires to ignite and would help in keeping the flames from spreading. But weekend weather conditions there are expected to be dry, hot, and windy, which threatens to reignite any remaining fires.
As a matter of fact, much of the Panhandle is under a fire weather watch for the weekend. So they went from warm to cold to snow to fire and then back to summertime weather patterns. Unbelievable. 52 for us, one day of winter. By tomorrow, we'll be back up into the 70s. Today, we only got up to 54. Of course, that north wind made a big difference. I hope you found your sweater okay. We're looking for warming temperatures as we get back to that springtime weather. We'll have all that coming up, and we'll take a look at your weekend after this. Yes, that one cold front affected all of Texas. You noticed what happened up in the Panhandle, of course, El Paso, and we got a little chilly there after that wind came in and gave us a one-day chill. At this hour of the night, we're actually picking up a few little light sprinkles. I mean, they're between us, maybe Gonzales, and we'll close up on that in a minute. Just wanted to show you this map, and I know it's hard to see, but if you're really interested in this, go to the Texas Forest Service public information, and it's called Incident Command Conditions. And this is the burn path that goes from Oklahoma state line all the way through Borger, all the way through Canadian, all the way to Amarillo. And that is the Smokehouse fire that goes down in the history books so far as the largest 1 million acre of burn. Now here we are as the storm now starts to pull away. Here we are in the crossroads. There's clouds and maybe a little mist up in this area right about there. So basically, if you're driving north or if you're along I-10, you might see a little bit of light rain activity tonight. But by and large, the storm is now gone. This is also the system that brought the snow that you see right there to Amarillo. Insult add insult to injury. I don't know. It's just been one heck of a week for them. As we go to the future tracker, we're going to see how the whole system sort of pulls away and springtime rolls back in. By tomorrow morning, a lot of the cloud deck up north is going to start changing. We're going to start picking up more of a south wind. That's going to help warming up. And as we get through Friday, Friday and Saturday, we've got sunshine coming back. Now, I can't say that it's going to be clear and blue, but we are going to see a little bit of sun, and we certainly are going to be warming up in the temperature department. Just to give you an idea of the temperatures, watch this. 72 tomorrow on Friday, then up to 78, then up to 80 as we stay in the weekend all the way through the middle part of next week. There is another front coming, but it's getting real hard for them to have any kind of real oomph to them. Looking at your high temperatures, you can see how we're in the 70s, and so is Amarillo. So from snow this morning to 75 tomorrow. Go figure that one. That's what we call Texas weather. Well, here's the system that brought the precipitation to much of the northern part of the state. Now that's pulling away, but you'll notice out west we've got a humongous snowmageddon coming down. This storm is going to produce in the western mountains 5 to 10 feet of snow. It is tapped into the moisture from the mid-Pacific, so it is a huge problem. Now, as we get into the weekend, we're okay, but as we get into next week, we'll see the tail end of that coming through here. Now, it's not a huge front as far as we're concerned, but right now I'm going to say this. It has a better shot at getting us some rain around here, which would be on Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So that's then. Right now, we've got cloudy skies in the morning, then sun in the afternoon, a little bit of sun, and temperatures getting up into the upper 60s tomorrow. For those of you in Cuero, pretty much same thing. Cloudy in the morning, then a little bit of sun in the afternoon. That gets you up to 70 degrees and no more north wind. By the end of tomorrow, it'll definitely be coming up out of the south. So take a look at your weekend right here, 72, 78, 80. We stay in the 80s. We'll be back to T-shirts for the early part of next week, and then we'll wait and see what that little front does for us on Wednesday of next week. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have that QR code. It's called a quick response code. Take a picture of that, and it'll put Crossroads Today right on your phone. We'll toss it over to Don.
Thank you, Mac. And Zach Brown has your sports. Not the greatest day in weather for a softball tournament, Zach.
Yeah, it was freezing out there over at the Victoria ISD tournament. Day one in the books, and we had a lot of local teams going at it. I'll have that in sports. The VISD tournament over at the Youth Sports Complex. We got to see lots of local teams going at it. One of those teams, off to a fantastic start. Talking about St. Joseph, who won their first game, but it got pretty dicey in game 2. They were down 6-4 late in this one, but top of the order. Get the Flyers in business, got a leadoff single to get a runner on. Then the next batter rips one to third. She can't catch it, and the throw is late at first base. Heads up base running has Flyers at the corners. Nobody out, and in steps Elena St. Jean, who smokes one to right center field. That's going to get down. 2 runners score, and the game is tied on the clutch. RBI double. The girls would actually work the bases loaded. Still nobody out, and the pass ball is going to allow St. Jean to score the go-ahead run. They take the lead. It's 7-6 now. Let's go to the final inning. Steele has the tying runner at third, 2 outs. Flyers trying to close the door. There's strike 1. Next pitch swung on and missed, but the ball gets away. Runner trying to tie the game, but she's caught up in a rundown. St. Joseph hangs on, gets a 7-6 win. They sweep both of their games on the day. Now, from one powerhouse to another, we're talking about the Ganado girls. They dropped their first game on the afternoon, and then they took on Calhoun in game 2. The Sandys pitched fantastic in this one. The Maidens down 2-1. This ball's going to take a funky hop. They get a runner on, trying to push that tying run across the plate. Just couldn't quite figure it out in the batter's box, which is not something you will hear often. They are ranked for a reason, but Calhoun got the better of them in this one, allowing just the 1 run as they defeat the Ganado Maidens 3-1. So really good pitching on both ends in this game. Ganado dropped both of their games, but the good thing about this VISD tournament, they get right back at it tomorrow. After Calhoun took on Ganado, they stayed on that same field, and just minutes later got the Bay City Lady Cats. Bay City took an early 1-0 lead, but since then, Calhoun opened up a 6-1 lead. That would actually be your final score as of about 30 minutes ago. So looking like they're going to get 2 wins. Well, they already got the 2 wins today. Looking for more tomorrow on the first day of this VISD tournament. And speaking of VISD, here's Victoria East, who beat down Orange Grove 16-5 in their first game. But in game 2 against King, the Lady Titans on the other side of that coin. King batted around and put up a crooked number in the first inning. King gets the win. Victoria East splits their 2 games. We have a fun one on our hands tomorrow. St. Joseph versus Victoria East. How's that for some VISD tournament action? And baseball had a tournament of their own, and it was the East Titans who continue to dominate in the early going. They got the win over Veterans Memorial. What a game from Mason Sockwell. Not only did he pitch the complete game shutout, he went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Also, TCU commit Kaysen Coley went 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs as well. The Titans 6-1 on the young season. That's it for your sports. Don, back to you.
All right, Zach, thank you. And we're back in a moment. A Florida baby is back home less than 3 weeks after a motorcyclist slammed into her father's car, nearly killing the baby. We are getting late word of a truck fire that happened around 6 o'clock tonight. It was at East Park Avenue and North Laurent. We are told by Victoria Police that no one was hurt. The man that was operating the truck, it caught fire while he was operating it, and he got out okay. More coming on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And finally tonight, less than 3 weeks after a motorcyclist slammed into a Florida family, nearly killing the baby in the back seat, there's an uplifting ending. Sergeant Dave Musgrove just happened to be at the right place at the right time. He was able to perform roadside CPR on the baby. Little Lola, despite a brain injury and broken arm, is out of the ICU, back in the comfort of her own home today. She turned 7 months old this week. Without our first responders to be on the scene and delivering the kind of care that those people, that saved a life right there. And a 7 months old life.
It's so difficult to even focus when so much is going on, to have the clarity of mind. So congratulations, and we're happy for them.
Yes.
Well, folks, we had one day of winter weather, and tomorrow it's gone. It's just a quick deal, because tomorrow we'll be up back into the 70s, and by the weekend you'll be back into t-shirts, because we'll be about 80 degrees for a few days right there. We've got another front next week. That may have a better shot at getting us some rain, and we'll certainly be here watching it for you, but I think the weekend's going to be good, Don.
All right, thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one, everybody.